Something's creeping, it's right outside. So come on in, and don't be shy. We've got ghosts and UFOs. Brace yourself, get ready for the show. Don't be afraid of the dark. The fun's about to start. Nightmares, our tales will inspire. Oh, tonight at the Scaredy Campfire. Have you heard tell of a demon next door? Or maybe a cryptid on the lake shore? There's nothing too strange for us here. So if you're ready, stamp out your fear. Don't be afraid of the dark. The fun's about to start. Nightmares, our tales will inspire. Tonight at the Scaredy Campfire. Whoa, whoa.
Welcome back, campers, to episode 35 of the Scaredy Campfires. By now, you know the dark doesn't always wait for nightfall. Sometimes it lingers in quiet places, hallways, reflections, and the pauses between breaths. Tonight, we'll listen closely to what hides in those silences and find out what answers when the world around us goes still. Tonight's first story comes from Reddit user who shares two chilling ghost encounters from childhood. First, a mysterious old woman known as the Red Candle Lady, glowing with a faint red light in the hallway. Then a ghostly bride whose haunting gesture mirrored a Halloween projector video, except the device was unplugged. Were these shadows tricks of the mind or something far more real? These are two real ghost encounters I experienced as a child. To this day, I still don't know if they were tricks of my mind or something much more real, but they've stayed with me ever since. Encounter number 1, the Red Candle Lady. When I was around 10 or 11 years old, I was a pretty nervous kid, especially when it got dark outside. My imagination ran wild at night, and I'd always try to leave my little TV on to help me sleep. But my parents didn't like that. They'd get on to me for running up the power bill or messing up the TV, and sometimes they'd come into my room late at night to make me shut it off. So eventually I started setting the TV on a timer before going to sleep. One night felt like any other. I had just watched some creepy videos on YouTube, including ghost stories from that old Top 15 channel. Even after all that, I didn't feel scared, not yet. As I laid in bed in the dark, I noticed a small faint red light glowing in the hallway. My first thought was that it was just car lights from outside, but then realized car headlights are white or yellow, not red. Confused, I got out of bed and quietly peeked my head into the hallway. That's when I saw her. An old woman was standing there holding a small red candle. She looked exactly like one of the figures from Top 15 video I'd watched earlier that day. I panicked and ran back to bed, staring at my door in fear. I sat there for what felt like forever, too afraid to move. Eventually, I worked up the courage to sneak to my old brother's room. When I peeked into the hallway again, I saw the old woman was now standing in the living room, facing away from me. I quietly knocked on my brother's door and begged him to let me sleep in his room. At first, he said no, but his girlfriend at the time said it was okay, so I hurried inside their dark room. But right as I was walking in, I looked back. She was gone. To this day, I don't know if it was just my imagination or if the Red Candle Lady had actually appeared in my house. Encounter number 2, the Ghost Bride. About a year later, close to Halloween, I had another strange experience. I've always loved the Halloween season, the cool air, pumpkin pie, and all the spooky decorations. That year, my family bought a projector that displayed Halloween videos on surfaces like windows or walls. It showed all sorts of fun things: laughing pumpkins, skeletons, ghosts, zombies. But one video stood out to me: The Ghost Bride. It was a creepy video loop of a woman in a wedding dress. At first, she floated in place, gently motioning with her finger for you to come closer. As the video continued, she would drift across the wall or window, cry, and eventually scream loudly. We couldn't aim the projector at the window. The blinds were too big, so we set it up to display the videos on a wall inside the house instead. One night, I went to bed like normal after turning the projector on like my dad asked. Everything felt fine until around 2:30 or 3 a.m. A white light flickered in the hallway, just like in my red candle lady encounter. At first, I ignored it, but then it grew brighter. When I looked again, I saw what looked like a glowing white cloth moving across the door frame. I slowly got up, walked to the door, and there she was, the ghost bride. She turned her head and stared directly at me, making the same beckoning hand gesture I'd seen in the projector video. Frozen in fear, I quickly crawled back into the bed and hid under the covers for a few minutes. When I finally worked up the nerve to peek into the hallway again, she was gone. Confused, I checked the living room. The projector was off. Not only that, it was unplugged. I hadn't touched it, and I have no idea if my parents went in after I fell asleep and unplugged it. But they never said they did. All I know is that I saw some ghost bride from the video standing in my hallway, making that same eerie hand motion. Here's something else weird. I still have a projector just like one we used that night. My grandma and stepmom actually bought similar projectors around the same time, and when my grandma moved in with us, she gave me hers because she knew how much I loved Halloween. It's sitting in my room right now. Sometimes I wonder, should I plug it back in and try to see if the ghost bride comes back, or was it something tied only to the original projector we used that night? I've thought about testing it, but honestly, I'm not sure if I want to find out what happens. To this day, the user wonders if the ghostly bride might return. If only they dared plug in the projector again. Some mysteries linger, caught between childhood fear and unexplained, reminding us that sometimes the past flickers just beyond the edge of the light. Our second tale comes from Reddit user u/tattooedboymom 1983, who lived in an older apartment where something unseen left its mark, from phantom touches tracing tattoos to slamming fridge doors, and the eerie presence of a child who played unseen. This story walks the line between supernatural and the unsettling effects of mold. Was it a restless spirit of an abused child, or something else entirely? So I have to share a story from 2011 to 12. Me and my husband got an apartment at an older apartment complex. We didn't notice anything weird at first. There were a few things that started happening, but just to me. I was pregnant at the time with my oldest. I felt stuff brush against me a lot. I also felt something multiple times that felt like someone was tracing my tattoos with a finger. I had a fridge door slam shut, not just glide shut, slam shut. We would hear something in the kitchen all night, pots and pans being moved, and I don't know what, but we would lay in bed and hear it. Our cats would also hiss and growl at nothing and refuse to go in the kitchen. We didn't feel threatened, no bad vibes, and it seemed like a child playing. We got in our mailbox a lot of papers that showed stuff from CPS and whatnot, so we thought a kid might have been abused, but we didn't open the letters because it's illegal and all that. The landlord said they abused their kid and one was jailed for it. That's all we could find out. when my son was born, he would stare at the kitchen. Then he would wave and say hi standing in front of the baby gate, and that kept him out of the kitchen. We would laugh and giggle a lot. One day I was taking a nap with him and woke up. I checked on him and he was at the gate, and I could swear I say a child with him, likely a 4 or 5-year-old. I grabbed my son, but he was happy and like it was nothing. The stuff continued, and like I said, I never felt it was negative on it. We didn't have scared feelings most of the time. When I saw the kid, I did start to feel scared. Then the energy shifted. I don't know what triggered it, but I started feeling scared all the time. I felt watched. I heard weird noises from the baby monitor in my son's room, so he started sleeping in his pack and play in our room. I couldn't sleep because of the constant feeling of being watched. I would go to bed before my husband so I wouldn't have to be up alone. I felt scared at home. It felt very sinister, and my son started screaming every time he went in the hall. The hall went directly in my room, as if someone was gonna watch me. It would have been in the hall. After a while of this, we couldn't afford to move at the time. We had my son's room flood, and they took so long to fix it, so there was mold, so we finally borrowed money for his safety. After we moved, I never felt like I did then. Didn't lose sleep or anything. I've never felt anything like it. The mold, I will say, could have maybe messed with our heads. They had installed our air conditioner backwards, so it would often flood the carpet in the hall, and they never fixed it, just temporary stuff. My husband was always sick. We didn't think about that till later, so maybe it was the mold causing it, or maybe it was some sort of imprint from the child before we moved there who was abused. Maybe it was a real child ghost or a regular ghost that wanted to seem like childlike. I've no idea. I honestly don't know. The skeptical side of me says it was mold. The side of me that remembers the feelings and the things I saw makes me feel like it was something. We thought maybe it was more active towards me when I was pregnant, which was another reason I thought maybe a child who could see I was a mother. Anyways, that's my story. After moving away, the unsettling feelings vanished, but the memories linger. Was it just the mold messing with minds, or the imprint of a child's sorrow echoing through the apartment? Some questions have no answers, only whispers in the silence. That closes out episode 35, campers. Silence can be a comfort or a warning. When the world goes quiet, it's easy to believe you're alone. But remember, the quiet is never truly empty. So listen carefully, campers. Something out there might be listening back.
As the night gets longer and the darkness creeps in, with the eerie silence broken only by whispering wind, come gather round the fire, the flickering flames, and hear the tales of the spooky and the strange. Chill up your back, a shiver up your spine. You'll be haunted by the things that you find. Legends will unfold and stories will be told at the Scaredy Campfire, for only